In the Natalism subreddit, this was posted. It says Fox News host makes fun of federal employees who need childcare. How is this pro family? Watch this video.
Okay, sorry. I've already seen a lot of these federal workers on social media posting about they're crying, they're upset. I'm gonna have to get child care. Oh, okay, sorry.
Well, by the way, that's a real thing.
I understand,
and they do need child care.
But I've already.
These are some of the comments under the post. Robotic Eggplant is saying, these people are disgusting. Must be nice to have no soul. It seems very freeing to literally not care about a single thing other than yourself. Yes, that's what it seems like. Leaning Tower of Lisa says, these stupid fembots with their stupid heels, hair extension, and no hearts. Yes, that's what it seems like you need to be able to work for Fox. Oh, Mickey is wondering, why do you even watch Fox? Maggie Pie says, what a see you next Tuesday. This person at the bottom says, I also wonder with this DEI thing, are only white men non-DEI? The rest of us are DEI. That's what it seems like. They really act like the rest of us don't have any qualifications for the businesses that we're in, or the employees that we are, or the qualifications that we get. It's all just handed to us. So those first set of comments were on Blue Sky. This is on the Natalism subreddit. Erlyn says, the most charitable interpretation is she thinks these people are not doing their actual jobs because they're doing childcare all day. But in the real world, I spent an hour on the phone Monday with one of my best friends who is super stressed because her husband is a federal employee who has been working remote 5 years. And they moved when he went remote to a place his parents and siblings are all on the same block. So everybody's there together and he's still able to work. This is huge for them in terms of childcare and also important bonds their kids are forming with grandparents and aunts, etc. So yeah, childcare is going to be an issue for them if they have to move back to DC, not to mention her having to switch up her entire career. OK Hospital says, because Fox News pundits are known for their amazing journalism. It's always people with the easiest jobs making fun of others. When people work from home, they're able to actually be caretakers to elderly folks as well as their children and have some kind of semblance of work-life balance. What this administration is trying to do is strip away any semblance of work-life balance. So that's what My Heart Beats for Hot Dogs is speaking on. She says, my sister's brother-in-law is a federal employee who works remote. He lives with his elderly dad and takes him to doctor's appointments, makes sure he eats and takes his meds, etc. Brother-in-law now has to move. His office is too far away. Elderly dad doesn't want to leave his house, but there's no one else in the area to take care of him. My sister has been trying to convince him to move states to live with her and her husband and their children, but he refuses to leave. People really think that folks that work remote are just lazy and freeloaders when people are able to juggle real life situations and still be able to work. Let's Hear It for New York says, also, I know this is a separate issue, but won't in office work cost taxpayers more? More buildings, more resources, more building support staff, more electricity/water. Since I've worked remote, not a federal employee, just an anecdote. I've been buying my own pens and notepads. But on the other hand, when you're catering to the wealthy corporate landlords, of course they want return to office. Yes, they won't return to office because they want to get money put back into the economy, because you spend more money to go to work than you do when you're working from home. This is another post in the Natalism subreddit. This person says, promoting natalism by normalizing having the childless give help to those with kids. So pushing the childless people, this is your job. The title alone made me giggle. All right, this person says, I think it's quite sad that one of the common stories I hear on the anti-natalist and child-free forums are the complaints about siblings who have kids begging the childless to help them take care of their kids. These complaints are along the lines of, my entitled sister asked me to babysit her kids, and my deadbeat brother can't afford college for his kids. I find this attitude not only sad, but also self-harming. If you have a brother or sister who has kids, they have done you a service by giving you a niece or nephew, someone who connects you with the future at no cost to your body, your time, or your finances. I think childless people should be thrilled when a sibling has kids because the sibling has essentially made a big sacrifice to do something that benefits them, the child-free uncle or aunt, and should want to contribute financially and time-wise to raising of their nieces and nephews. When you reach old age, a nephew or niece is probably the only young person around you who is going to be available to help take care of you. Why not give your nieces and nephews some happy memories of you? I need to call my brother right now and let him know that I did him a favor by having a kid. By having two kids, double the favors. Why hasn't he come to Las Vegas to babysit for me? He doesn't have any kids. I've done him a favor. He should be coming here. We constantly complain about how hard it is to raise kids today, yet there are more adults around per kid than ever. We need to promote a society where the childless want to help raise kids who aren't theirs, especially if those kids are close relations, nieces, nephews, younger cousins, etc. It's a testament to Western American selfishness and pathological individuality that child-free people do so little to help their family members when those family members have kids. That is a wild take. That is very interesting. I've never heard that. I mean, you come and help. I am doing you a favor. Background interview says, I babysit on occasion for my brother if I have time to do so. I work nights, so it's not often. I take days off to attend the birthdays and every other holiday. I don't do it so my nieces will care for me when I'm old. They are the beneficiaries of my death. If there's anything left behind, who knows? Maybe they'll end up with a windfall. This person says, but no, my brother did not do me a favor by making passionate love to his wife and making children. He did that out of his own wants and needs of fulfillment. Exactly. Your brother making passionate love to his wife is not doing you a favor. People need to stop being weird. Yeah. And then Cat's Eye says, yeah, kind of self-aggrandizing for parents to go around assuming they did us all a favor by having kids that we're now expected to watch for them for free. I'm sure this attitude will improve relations between parents and the child free. Yes, that's the connection that we're looking for. Someone needs to try this out and put it on video camera. Callie Tende said, if I didn't have kids because I didn't want to take care of children, why would I take care of children that are not mine? Kind of defeats the purpose of not having any of my own. This person says, side note, growing up and waking up at 5 a.m. at 13 to give my baby brother a bath and just generally feeding and taking care of my large age gap siblings, 5 of us, but the last 2 are 10 and 13 years younger than me, is literally the reason I do not want children. I moved to a whole different continent to be as far away as possible from other family members because my culture is one that would 100% harass you into taking care of kids that aren't yours. The parentification of children is one of the reasons why I hear women especially say they do not want children. Stop forcing your older children to be second parents to your children. Stop having so many dang on kids and stealing the childhood of kids. Frostbite says, this is exactly where I'm at. I'm the oldest daughter with 3 younger siblings. I've been helping raise children since I physically could. It was never a pleasure or an honor, but an expectation. There isn't even a large age gap between most of us. I'm only 5 years older than my oldest sister, but I've been feeding her since I could push a chair up to the stove. I've raised them. And now that I'm the happily child-free adult, why would I sacrifice my time raising their children too? Odd Acanthus says, what a weird take. Flappy Dog says, why would you want people who don't want to care for children to care for children? At least these last couple of people, at least the people in the comments, know that this is weird. But y'all needed to see this and maybe get a chuckle. All right, y'all, let me know what you think about these 2 posts. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. Woman posted this in the marriage subreddit, some pictures of what her house looks like, and asked, am I overreacting? So check out this sink full of dishes, bed full of clothes, dirty stove, and why is the cord there? And this is what her caption says. She says, I'm a 25-year-old woman married for almost 2 years, been together for 7 years. So they've been together since she was 18. Please keep that in mind. They've been together since she was 18. She says, and have 3 kids, ages 4, 3, and 8 months old. Lately, I've been feeling undervalued. I take care of everything in our home, kids, budgeting, doctors, cleaning, etc. I work a 3rd shift job and don't have anyone to help me with my kids during the day. I've asked my husband to help out more around the house because mentally I cannot keep up anymore. Well, after working 55 hours in the past week, I came home to this. See photos. I feel like this is a big middle finger to me. I get that my husband watches the kids after he gets off work, but this past weekend when he was off, he didn't do any laundry at all or clean other than pick up toys. I want to go off on him, but instead I just told him I'm frustrated because I've been working too and I'm exhausted. And in 3 hours, I will be up with our kids all day trying to clean up this mess instead of leaving the house to get some sanity. Please know and understand, this is one of the reasons why I do not believe that women should get married so young. She is 25 years old. She's been with the same man since she was 18 years old. She does not have the boundaries to say that this is not right. She thinks that she is overreacting. But also, let me back up. It's not just that she was young and doesn't have the boundaries. Many women are finding themselves in this position where they are actually having to ask for help instead of the man participating, because the man believes because he has a peen, he does not have to participate in the household duties like the woman because he has a peen and he has a wife appliance. Women are getting to the point where they are feeling frustrated because they have to ask for participation. They have to ask the man to do his part and shoulder some of the load. This woman is feeling undervalued because she is undervalued. She is a servant in his eyes, and she has to go outside and work as well. But she literally has multiple jobs because all of the labor that she does within the home is unpaid and undervalued labor. At least when she goes outside of the home, she's getting paid. But inside the home, where think about juggling all of these kids, ages 4, 3, and 8. That is a lot of work in itself. So, as more and more women write these letters and get to that tolerable level of permanent unhappiness much quicker, we're going to see more and more divorces. And this man is about to be blindsided, even though she is trying to tell him and communicate how she's feeling about his not participating in the household. Art Regular says intentional incompetence. And then Cougar's Rule says weaponized. Rosie Starlet Kiss says, girl, you are not overreacting. That's a huge middle finger, and I'd be livid. Seriously, 55 hours of work plus managing 3 kids. You're carrying the weight of an entire household, and he's letting the place become a disaster zone. It's not about helping out anymore. It's about equal partnership. You need to have a serious conversation, not just express frustration. Lay it all out. Your exhaustion, your feelings of being undervalued, and the fact that his actions are disrespectful and unsustainable. If he doesn't step up, consider couples counseling. You deserve better than this, sending you strength. Architectural says, what the F is this? My wife would end my life. All right. Weaponized, this person, Mitch Elegance says, weaponized incompetence. This is awful and causes so much stress in a marriage. And eventually, when the woman decides to leave, she's already mourned the loss of the marriage and partnership. And then the man acts like he saw it coming when she pulls the plug. Maybe the man acts like he didn't see it coming when she pulls the plug. And then the OP says, it's been an ongoing problem, and I'm not sure how much more I can handle. I'd rather be living as a single mom than being married to someone who does not help out. That's where women are. They're seeing that they will probably have less work to do if they are a single parent. That's the reason why I don't understand why people cast so much shame and cast aspersions on divorced women and single moms, because a lot of the times they have to pull the plug because there's simply not a partnership and not a healthy situation or relationship in the household. Mitch Excellence says, I'm so sorry, OP. Know that you are not alone, and way too many women feel the exact same way. Most thrive if they remove themselves from that situation as a single mom. If they leave and even downsize, the home typically becomes a sanctuary and is clean and stress-free for the woman and her children. Have a talk with your husband and think about how you want to frame it. If you say you're going to leave or give an ultimatum, be prepared to stick with them. Also, would marriage counseling be something he'd consider? Your spouse is supposed to make your life easier. You deserve that. And then the OP says he has refused counseling. I've had many talks with him in the past year about things needed to change because unfortunately, this happens every weekend I work. I come home Monday mornings and it almost always looks like this. The other day, I got my baby up to start the day, and his face was covered in dried baby food, and his hands and clothes had it too. He seems like he doesn't want to make our marriage work anymore, no matter how much I beg. Please stop begging. Please stop begging because it's not working. This is where we have to get to the point where we see we move with some sense of self-preservation. How is this benefiting you to be in this relationship? It is stressing you out. It's not a healthy environment for children to be raised in. It's not healthy for anyone. He needs to be alone and be divorced. He does not deserve to have a wife at home. And that's what the Pope says at the bottom. You should never beg someone to make a marriage work. The moment you have to beg, it's clear that they don't care at all. And then Matt and Marge says, honestly, imagine your life without him. Will he help you more when you're separated? Will he pay child support? I mean, if she's working, then hopefully she can work it out. People have strengths and people have needs. Clearly, household chores is a need. What I would do is work on a list of strengths and needs for him and yourself. As you work on the list, ask yourself, will your life be better to not have to deal with his needs? Will your life become better to not continue to benefit from his strengths? It sounds like you're already over it and looking for validation. She is looking for validation, and hopefully she gets it to the point where she's willing to walk away from this man. Anyways, let me know what you think. Let me join the conversation. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I was tagged in this Am I the A-hole post. And once again, women need to get some sense of survival, some sense of self-preservation, because what the F? She says, I'm riddled with guilt. She says, am I the a-hole? For context, I am an early 30-year-old mom of a toddler and a newborn. We have been surviving off my $60,000 a year income, and I pay for everything: car rent, food, bills, etc. My kid's dad hasn't worked for almost 4 years due to sciatica, which I acknowledge as a setback, but he really doesn't want to work. I say this because he has had this injury for 6 years and had multiple jobs prior to me getting pregnant. I've applied for multiple jobs for him, created a resume, and he's received some messages back, but is being lazy about contacting them. With this setup, I am not able to save money at all and can't afford to live at my place comfortably with the rent being raised. And I also have gone into so much credit card debt trying to keep our heads above water. Now I have an opportunity to live with my dad for a little while rent-free so I can actually save up for some property. To do this, I need to quit my office job and get a remote position to stay with my kids because their dad is not invited. My dad can't stand him due to his treatment of me in the past. I don't know why she said in the past, because in the present, he seems to suck. She says, I'm torn because he has no family in the state we're in, and he has absolutely nowhere to go. But I'm wanting to take up the offer so I can build my kids a solid future. Am I the a-hole for wanting to do so? Please let me know what you would do in this situation, and please remain respectful. I feel so damn guilty for this. Women need to get some sense. Please learn that you need to put your kids, she has 2 kids, before this man. I do not know and understand why you are putting this adult parasite before your children. I literally have some sense of survival for your kids. If you can't have some sense of survival for yourself, you need to have some sense of survival for your children. She's in the comments strongly. MC Susie says, you're not the a-hole. You had children with someone who refuses to work. I don't know why. Continuing to put them in a very disadvantaged economic situation would not be okay. I don't think guilt is a very useful place to dwell, but if you want to feel guilty, then you should feel guilty for choosing such a horrible father for your kids. That's probably not helpful, but she's choosing to stay with this man. I'm sure she did not know that he was going to quit his job. And she says, "Oh, I do feel horrible for picking him every day, but he didn't stop working until after I got pregnant with my first. I feel like I was trapped to be a mule. Thanks so much for the feedback." And then Oak says, "So he hasn't worked since you were pregnant with your first, and you've been responsible for pretty much everything since. And you thought, you know what this situation needs? Another child. And you got pregnant again. Just goofy." And then the OP says, "Reasons for me wanting to expand my family is none of your concern, to be honest. Also, he was promising to get a job to help out. The name calling is unnecessary, by the way. Maybe find a better way to communicate your thoughts like an adult instead of a middle school bully." And okay, so reasons for her wanting to expand her family are she's right, is none of anyone's business. But she's in the situation where she can't financially handle it because she had a baby with a man who wasn't working. So what are you going to do about that going forward? That's where you are in. That's where you're in right now. You're in a position where you're with a man who does not have a job. So what are you going to do about it? Oak says, "I communicated my thoughts perfectly. You made a goofy decision to expand your family with a man who refuses to work and barely contributes to your household. It's not bullying. It's calling a spade a spade. If you want to be coddled, go somewhere else. Speaking of adults, it seems like you're the only one in your family. Your kid's father is just another responsibility you have. He's existing as another child for you to take care of. Let that sink in." And then the OP says, "However you may look at it, I don't regret having another kid. I will figure out a way regardless and enjoy having my boys around. I just simply ask for people to be respectful, which seems to be hard behind a keyboard. Also, I don't need to be coddled, but find you to be rude. I hope you feel high on that horse. Take care now." So I do believe that she's right in that some people do feel like they are higher than others, but when they talk, and it is easy to be rude. I think that you can communicate that, you know, you need to take responsibility. You need to look out for your children more without being an a-hole when you say these things. Oak says, "My apologies for coming off rude. I hope that you do improve your situation and wish you happiness. It's clear to a lot of us that your partner is dead weight on you and that he should be cut loose immediately if he doesn't start contributing. It's easy looking in, but you're the one that has to live with it. Best of luck to you and your kids." I'm glad that this person did come back and say that. When I said something on the post, I said, you need to be looking out for your kids more than this adult male. And I think that you can't express that. You can say that without saying just goofy. I just think that sometimes people like to put a little extra on it. But like Mermaid, no, that was goofy on your part. You selfishly wanted kids so bad despite everything going on. And now look at you. Just look at you. Silver Midnight says, "Not the a-hole. Don't set yourself on fire to keep him warm. If this is the better opportunity for you and your kids, take it. Depending on the timing of the rent increase, you could tell him that unless he gets a job to help cover the expenses, you will have to move in with your dad and that he will need to make other arrangements. But please be prepared for him to try and majorly guilt you if you go that way." So that's where they are. I'm not exactly sure that this woman is ready to leave. The way she's pushing back in the comments, she's trying to find a way that makes it make sense for her to stay with this man. I don't think she's ready. But like I said, most of these comments, most of these discussions that I have is for everybody else, not necessarily the people writing. But I want us to all know and understand that when we do have these babies, sometimes you need to make sure that you are having these babies that you know that you can take care of, regardless of if the man is there or you have to exit. Just keep that in mind. Don't have a bunch of kids that you can't take care of, because sometimes this is what ends up happening. All right, y'all. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
That white lady got up on that goddamn TV and said that birthright citizenship is unconstitutional. As if it's not in the goddamn Constitution. It's in the Constitution because it's constitutional.